Hello and welcome to a brand spanking new CraftySimulations video, and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, not 2024. Right, before I get into today's video, because I do have general aviation aircraft to obviously fly before you, I thought I would actually, by the way, it's not either aircraft that's sat in front of you now. This is just scenery from Burning Blue Designs Wickenby Airfield. But like I say, I'm going to cover another aircraft. Anyway, before I get into that, let's just have to have a little talk about a certain little release. A day one release. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I think we all know, shall we be polite, there's been a few issues. Now I said, speaking personally, that I would not be downloading it on day one. I would not even be downloading it this year. I just knew that Asobo and Microsoft would have issues. And I'm gonna try and be as polite as I possibly can here, but I knew there would be issues. So I said, nope, not gonna download it. I'm gonna see how it goes, see the general results, the consensus of the community, and download it January, February time, and move over to the sim throughout 2025. I got weak. I downloaded it on day one. I thought, okay, I've got two M2 drives in my system. So one M2 drive, the C drive, is where this simulator 2020 lives, and I cleared up my other M2 drive, and that's where 2024 will sit. So okay, brilliant. I've got my Steam set up, 'cause that's what I've downloaded it through. And, yep, downloaded it. That was it, dead easy. I mean, slow, but dead easy. And then the fun begins. Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I think we all know now that the servers were not up to par, shall we say. Not up to scratch. Not even close. Don't worry, it's only Microsoft. They only have, like, the world's largest collection of freaking servers. But anyway, well, it didn't work. It had a few issues. Namely, the 97% club, referring to the fact that is as far as you ever got in the loading screen, 97%. Now, I will be perfectly honest, I did not download it as soon as it was released in the UK. I waited till that night and downloaded it. So my download process was actually quite simple. My installation process was long and boring, but fairly simple. I must admit, I didn't have to crash the sim or anything silly like that. I did notice the whole missing the mouse. That was quite interesting, because I'm like, hang on a minute, I'm looking at an option here I need to click on. Where the freaking heck is the mouse? So, you know, a short little shrinking it from full screen to windowed mode gave me the mouse, and I managed to get through the starting options, and I created my pilot, woohoo. And yes, I left the sim there. I mean, this is early hours of the morning, so I thought I'm going to have a good, free, fresh, come back, look at it at like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'll have a go on it. And I'm not expecting my system to be able to run it perfectly, obviously. Obviously knowing that there was going to be internet limitations, because it's now a streaming sim. My internet is not the best. I need to get this sorted out, but my providers are not interested in that. So I knew there would be issues. Like I said, I was long-term planning for a swap over from 2020 to 2024. And when I managed to get back up again, and I loaded the sim back up again, and weirdly, I got through. I think I had one screen where it locked out and said that I'm in a waiting queue and all that kind of stuff, and I just refreshed that, started the sim up, and lo and behold, I got to the main menu of Flight Sim 2024. So excited! New simulation! Brilliant! That's as far as I've ever got. Even now, 24 hours later, effectively, nope. Haven't taken a single flight. I think that is down to partially due to my internet connection not being the speediest. Obviously, it's still not helped by the server issues. I still think there is quite a few server issues. I know that Microsoft and Asobo will sort this out. I have complete faith they will sort this out. How they're going to sort it out, don't know. Haven't a clue. But yeah, so I think we're going to stick with 2020 for a while, and that's a great thing, because 2020 is not going to be less supported anymore. You know, it's not going to be dropped by Microsoft or so, but it's still going to get content. companies, developers are still releasing aircraft and products for 2020. They're just also releasing it with 2024 in mind. And that's good. That's fantastic. I see that it's going to be a few years before 2020 is finally not supported. And hopefully by then, 2024 will be running brilliantly. And I will be able to have super fast internet, and I will be able to obviously get the benefits of streaming a simulator. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. If I'm perfectly honest, I don't know. I see where they're going. I see where they said that they don't want to have a large initial download. I mean, what was the initial download for 2020? It's about 150 gigabytes, I do believe. But now they've taken that away and left you with a smaller initial download. But now the whole sim, you know, the weather, the aircraft, the scenery, all that kind of stuff is now being streamed. It's not, you're not downloading it, it's just streaming it on an ongoing process. So you do need to have a minimum of 100 gigabyte download speed when it comes to your internet, which I don't have. You know, hold my hands up. It's not perfect, but it is what it is. So yeah, I do have 2024 on my simulators. Oh, sorry, on my software, on my system even. But I don't think we're going to be seeing too much content around that from me just yet. I think that's the best, politest way I can say this. So that leads us on to today's video. Like I say, we're back at Wickenby. So that means we're in a general aviation aircraft. And this is a Freeware focus video. We're looking at a Freeware aircraft. And if I manage to get this right, ta-da! Yep, here we go. This, stop Trackir, thank you very much, is the Auster. And I thought I'd give it a whirl. I saw it pop up on a few community pages, and I was just quite liking this. It's a nice little light aircraft, like a British version of a J3 Cub. It is a port of an FSX aircraft, and it was created by Dave Garwwood. Now, those of you that don't know, Dave Garwwood created some of the best aircraft, freeware aircraft, in the sim. I think his best one he was most known for was the Mosquito, which I think also I have seen available. I don't know whether it's a full, not fidelity, but a full conversion to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. But I have seen it, so I will keep an eye out for it, and if it is available, and if it does work properly, you might see a Mozzie here in the sim in the near future. But at the moment we're dealing with something like at the other end of the quantum leap of aviation. Like I say, this is almost J3 Cub level of technology. But I digress. So let's see what the company says about this. Now, but first of all, I have to say, Dave Garwwood has given full permission for this aircraft to be in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, so it is a fully supported port-over rendition of an FSX aircraft, and quite frankly, this is actually quite good. So this J1 comes in two variants. We have the original wheel version and the Tundra wheeled version, so slightly larger tyres even, not tiers. So the original version, which is the one you see before you, has a 110 horsepower even Blackburn Cirrus major power plant. Okay, so that's what this one has. The Tundra has a 160 horsepower Lycoming 0320. That has 7 liveries, and the Cirrus here, the smaller one, has 3 liveries. Brilliant liveries, and to be honest with you, there are some liveries now popping up on flightsim.to, is where this is available, and I will be dropping a link in the description page for this aircraft. But yeah, this is created or ported over by Flyndive, and it is a very simple process to bring it over. For us, it is like any other aircraft, to drop into community file, and hey, there you go. So it is a very nice looking aircraft. Considering this is an FSX aircraft, it's been obviously polished and made look good for Flight Simulator 2020. And yes, I dare say it probably does run in 2024 if you can get the sim running. But yeah, it's simple, but it is very good. It is a stretched fabric fuselage and tail. Obviously the engine is a metal front section there. Wings are stretched fabric, so that's why you get that kind of ribbed look to them. And to be honest, it looks really, really good. Nice look at the interior there. It's a very simple aircraft, so a very simple cockpit. But it is a very, very good looking aircraft. I seem to get these ports, and they're getting better and better. A little bit of distortion here in the paint of the lines there, which, to be honest with you, I can forgive that. I mean, it is a little bit of poor resolution there. But, you know, if you look at it from a normal view, it looks perfectly fine. So, what do we get on the inside? Well, we get this. It's actually really, really good. You know, again, it's a freeware port, and it is very, very good. Good visibility, all-round visibility. Well, I would say all-round visibility. You can't see diddly squat out the side of the aircraft due to the high wings. Slightly poor texturing on the seating. Again, it's perfectly fine. You know, I'm not expecting this to be a one-to-one rendition. We do have a flying log here, which is not clickable, but very, very good views. Simple, simple cockpit area, simple instrumentation. So we got our mags, oil temp, oil pressure, engine RPM, a clock, altitude, miles per hour, which goes up to 200. I don't know, can this aircraft make 200 mile an hour? Definitely not in level flight, probably in a dive, and the wings would have fallen off, but anyhow. Slip and slide, turn indicators, your climb and descent rate, then you've got your power in amps and volts, and a battery and a light switch. Moving over to the center console, for want of a better word, fuel system, so a fuel tank, so just simply push for on and pull for off. Mixture, fairly good sound effects on that. Got a single throttle, no prop pitch. I think that's a start button. I'm not 100%, but I start mine off my joystick, off my Warthog throttle stick. Again, good sounds. There's a lot of aircraft that don't put sounds into the movement of the stick. Flap control is that big lever up here, and if you're looking for trim, that is this doohickey here. So it's sort of like the A2A Comanche in the fact it's got a crank handle above your head. So if you're flying this aircraft and you want to alter your trim, then you have to do that by taking your hand off the throttle, which could be interesting. Anyway, like I say, we are currently sat at Wickenby, and we're going to take this little aircraft out for a little flight. We're going to stay in the local area, and we're going to see just what's what. So, like I say, it's a very good aircraft. I do like this. I've taken a couple of flights in it, and as we know, I do like a nice general aviation aircraft. And, yeah, there are, like I say, repaints for this. Like I say, it comes with a good few repaints. Basic. We're not talking fully camouflaged aircraft here, but there is a lot of other repaints that cover real aircraft based around the world. And yeah, they're all available on flightsim.to. So I think as well, Yankees has released a few repaints of this. Don't quote me on that. I'm sure I saw somewhere that he did. So Yankees is a great, awesome creator of magnificent repaints for various aircraft. So anyway, let's get back in the aircraft. Let's get this thing up and running. So let's get that set. Let's get my view centered. That usually helps. Trackir has been a usual person. Right, that's better. That's better. Right, so battery is coming on. Is that landing lights, or is that lights in general? Oh, so we've got lights on the side. That's good. That's good. Navigation lights. Right, so mags are coming on. Throttle is a couple inch open. Fuel system is on. Mixture is in. We do have an opening window. So we can check in the front. So clear on the right, clear up front. We can see clear and the left, and clear pop. Just knock the sounds down a little bit because It is quite a unique noise. Obviously, it is a simplistic sound, shall we say. So, instrumentation, let's look. So the engine RPM will sit at about 1,000 as normal. Clock is fine. We'll center the altimeter. Compass was done. Well, that flaps down to 1 stage, please. So we do have good oil pressure. Oil temp is starting to come up, so that's fine. Control check. So let's get going. I do think the external sounds do sound better than the internal sounds, I'll be honest. Low throttle and RPM sounds don't sound... they sound good. I'm not expecting there to be a, you know, the typical sounds you get from a payware product. This is all freeware. Brakes are very good. Right, it's before we enter the runway. Parking brake has been set. So oil temp is off the bottom. Oil pressure is good. RPMs are good. Altimeter is set. Amps are reading 0. And there doesn't seem to be an alteration. You'd imagine with the lights on and off, there would be some kind of interaction there with the dial, so I don't know whether that's working properly, but we know the lights are working. So flaps are 1 stage, trim is set. There is no trim indicator for takeoff. So we are canopy is shut. Belts are on. We are the only person in the aircraft, and we're clear on the right, clear on approach. Let's go. And airborne in the Auster. Positive rates, flaps up. Very simple aircraft to get off the ground. Obviously fixed undercarriage, you don't have to worry about that. So we don't want to go into the clouds. We are using Rex's new Atmos settings for today's flight, so So visibility at the front and above is absolutely brilliant. Visibility left and right, not so much. Definitely an aircraft for Trackir. So maintaining, well, levelling out, about 500 feet, about 90 miles an hour airspeed. I would class this as a very good stick and rudder aircraft. It does remind me of the J3 Cubs. Very simplistic. No real complicated avionics to worry about. And very much a VFR aircraft. Obviously very susceptible to winds because of its lightness. At the moment we have 2 mile an hour, I think it was, winds. I can't remember from which angle, but I did fly it earlier and there was 10 mile an hour crosswinds at Waddington, I think it was, and yeah, once you get up to speed it is noticeable that this aircraft does suffer from crosswinds. Just skirting underneath the clouds at the moment. Don't really want to lose visual with Wickenby. Normally I'd be flying with little Navmap on my second screen, especially in an aircraft that doesn't have any map technology, but at the moment that's running OBS. So I'll make one more pass over Wickenby and then come into the circuit for a landing. Make a low power pass and then throttle up and go into the circuit. Throttling up. Going into the climb, watching the clouds. Right, so setting up for landings, so mixture is good, lights are on, haven't got landing lights in this aircraft, flaps around to one stage, retrim, undercarriage is fixed, airspeed just north of 80, looking at the top of the airfield, top of the aircraft even for the airfield. So airfield's in sight. We check where the airfield is. Airfield's in sight, that's good. Like I say, visibility side to side is not the best, but that's the Auster's issue with the top wing, or high mounted wing. On approach, flaps 2-stage. Airspeed, we're looking about less than 60 on the approach and on touchdown. There's 60. Plenty of runway length here at Wickenby. Slightly pull the nose up, looking for centerline. Touchdown. And a little bit of a slip there, yeah. Joys of a tail dragger. Nearly ground looped it. We'll go park ourselves outside of the control tower. Parking brake set, flaps are up. Very good sounds for engine shutdown. What I will say is, though, the propeller does tend to spin a little bit more than I would expect. But again, it's pretty damn good. So, if the battery is off, lights are off, mounts are off, mixture is pulled, throttle is closed, petrol is off. So there we go. The Freeware Auster. Currently available on flightsim.to, a very good conversion from the FSX days, from Dave Garwwoods' personal collection of brilliant aircraft. If you like the J3 Cub, I think you will like this aircraft. It's very, very nice. What more can I really say about it? The only issue I would say, we haven't actually seen this issue in this weather condition because there isn't much sun, but around this panel here, there's like a recess for the lighting instrumentation. You just see that little black intent there. That's a recess in the cockpit textures, and it's sometimes the shading doesn't quite know what to do, so there's a bit of a flicker there. But other than that, and I'm perfectly honest with you, it's not that bad. Sounds, I always say, are very important in an aircraft, so the only issue I would say with sounds is the low RPM, low power setting. There is no real sound change. It only changes when you get up past 30-40% on my throttle, when you're going into the high power settings, and then you do hear the engine obviously change note. But I would say that is a negative, but remember this aircraft is completely free, and it is a port over from the FSX days. I can't remember what this aircraft sounded like in FSX. I don't know whether I ever had it. So it might be the sound is ported over. It might be that the sound is obviously tweaked for 2020 simulator standards, and that's just what we've got. We don't have an accurate rendition of the accurate engine for this aircraft here in the sim, but at the end of the day, it is free. It is available on flightsim.to. There are a multitude of repaints available for this aircraft that come with this aircraft and that other creators are creating for this aircraft. So I can't knock it. It looks absolutely fantastic. For, you know, I would probably, you're looking at a £5, £10 aircraft. If this was made payware, you know, I would expect to pay that sort of area. Anything else than that, it's not advanced. It does not come with GTN 750s or G1000s, anything stupid like that. It is a, if you've got a little Navmap, you probably, and a second screen, you've probably got that running as your navigational system. And it is a very good VFR general aviation aircraft. So like I said, I will drop you a link in the description for this aircraft. It gets a pass from me. It's really, really good. Good sounds, few issues here and there, nothing that I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna not expect a few issues on a Freeware aircraft. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any questions or comments about the Auster, please bang them below. If you have any stories about your interactions with the new simulator 2024, please bang them below as well. I'd love to hear them. I'm fascinated what other people are getting as a result. So yeah, I will see you guys and girls in a future Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 video very, very soon.